Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to cycle from Camden Town to Parliament Square in Westminster on just quiet streets and bike lanes, so avoiding any heavy traffic at all. It takes about 25 minutes, which I think is actually quicker than the tube, and it's a pretty nice cycle considering you go through all of central London. We're going to start outside Camden Market, yeah, right in the middle of Camden Town, and we're going to end up outside Big Ben. So let's go. Start by wheeling your bike down to the canal and then jump on it. You're allowed to cycle on the canal path. It can get a little bit busy down here sometimes, and there's a lot of pedestrians, and make sure you give them priority because it is their priority down here. But yeah, just go along a leisurely pace and just let people pass. You can use your bell to let people know you're here, but it doesn't mean get out of the way, obviously. The reason we're going down the canal is because, as I said, we're avoiding heavily trafficked roads, and this is quite a nice shortcut that gets us to where we want to go. There's a few places you can get off, but we're going to get off at this here called Royal College Street. There's a ramp, so you don't have to carry a bike or anything like that. You might want to push it if you don't want to cycle up the hill. And then we go on here, we turn left. This is Royal College Street. It's got some pretty nice cycle tracks on it. They're protected with curbs and these little things on the pavement, on the road, sorry, called armadillos. And there's also parking along it, which actually makes it feel a little bit more secure. It's pretty nice. You could just go straight down there. And there's lights at the end, so make sure you wait for the lights. There's special bike lights, and then you turn left and you keep going, and we're still on the cycle track here. This is Midland Road, and we're heading up to St Pancras Station now. We're just going behind the bus stop there. It's pretty much straight actually. And another set of lights here. You just wait for all the traffic to go. You don't have to mix with the traffic really at any point. There's a few roads coming up where you're not on a separate cycle lane, but you're on a very quiet street. But for now, we're protected from traffic. There are actually cabs parked here on this rank. It's a little bit of a weird design, but they're mostly stationary, so you don't really have to worry. And here's a nice thing: we're overtaking all these cars. I think it's probably quicker to cycle to Westminster than it is to drive actually, because you do just get to cycle past everyone. So we're waiting for the lights here to cross Euston Road, and we're going to go into a nice little street here called Judd Street. And this is a really quiet street. And the reason it's so quiet, you'll see in a second, is because there's no entry here for cars at one end. So there's no through traffic on it. You only get people who are driving on it to access buildings that are actually on the street. And that makes it really quite pleasant to cycle on. You can see there's basically no traffic. There's someone doing a bit of loading there, but that's it. You wait till you get to these lights, and then we're going to turn right when it's all green. We're going to turn right onto Tavistock Place, and there's a nice little set of separated cycle tracks on there as well. Yeah, we're back on lanes now. These are what we call lightly segregated. They're protected by those little armadillo things. You can see there's basically no traffic because there's people skateboarding in the road. And we just keep going straight here. It's a little bit patchy, as in you're not in a lane the whole way, but as I say, there's not really any cars. This is actually rush hour, although it's rush hour during lockdown. And we're coming up to Gower Street here. Gower Street's recently had, it used to be a horrible place to cycle, but it's recently had some new cycle lanes fitted on it. So we're going to turn left down Gower Street. And yeah, these are stepped tracks, so they've got a little curb most of the way between them. And yeah, you can see there's traffic on the road, but we don't have to worry about it because we're sort of protected mostly. There's a few bits where the cycle lane's just painted, but curbs kind of keep everyone in line. And you really just keep going straight down Gower Street. That's a nice north-south route through central London now. And you wait for the bike light. You can see there's actually bike level signals there, so you've got your own traffic lights. And that gave us a little bit of a head start, because they go green before the cars do. Now you just go straight here. Now we're on a lane, but I actually don't think this bit's finished. I think when this is done, you'll be able to just go straight across on the left there, but we're just turning left ourselves, and yeah, there's a bike crossing here which you'll be able to go straight on. And we go on to Endell Street, which is a street that's two-way for bikes but not for cars. You can see there's not really much traffic around because there's not really any through traffic allowed on it. This goes on through to Bow Street, which is the same sort of deal. You'll see at the end of Bow Street why there's no cars on it, because you can't drive all the way through it. There, see, yeah, this is bikes only now, so there's no use anyone trying to drive through it because there's a bollard in the way. Now, here I'm actually just going to get off the bike and cross the road on foot. You can cycle down this way if you like, but it's, to be honest, a little bit easier just to go there. And you go down here, down Savoy Street, which again, there's not really through traffic on it. And then we've got a little bit of a wait at the lights here. I think I was a little bit unlucky and maybe missed the green by about a second, because there really is a long way here. But you can see already we've actually already made it to the Embankment, which, you know, considering we've come through from North London to the river, that was pretty easy going. And there's our green, and we go right here down the Embankment, and there's a really nice protected cycleway all the way along the river. You can see the London Eye on the left there. And this is always pretty well used. You pass a lot of cyclists on it, even during lockdown. It feels like a long way when you're on it, and to be honest, that's because it is. It goes all the way across east-west through London. And you can already see, actually, there's Big Ben looming in the background there, so we're almost there. And yeah, Portcullis House on the right. And we're pretty much here, yeah. So yeah, just wait for the lights to cross the road, and then you can go right here, and you're on to Parliament Square. So yeah, that's it. If you found that useful, can you make sure you like and subscribe to the video, because that'll mean that I know that people like it, and I'll keep doing them. Thanks very much, guys.